Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, im Namen der Wiener Philharmoniker darf ich Sie, auch die Medienvertreter, unsere Kooperationspartner, ganz herzlich begrüßen zu unserer Pressekonferenz für das Neujahrskonzert 2023. Heute in der Früh, wie ich aufgestanden bin und hergekommen bin in den Musikverein, habe ich wieder das Glücksgefühl gehabt, dass ich eigentlich wirklich den schönsten Beruf habe, den man haben kann. Im schönsten Saal der Welt, mit den tollsten Partnern, einem tollen Maestro, Franz Welser-Möst, dem ORF, hier das machen zu können. Das wirklich, diese Musik ist derartig herrlich, obwohl das ganz Besondere an diesem Neujahrskonzert ist, dass wir von 15 Nummern 14 ganz neue Nummern haben. Die 14, die noch nie gespielt worden sind beim Neujahrskonzert. Darauf wird dann der Franz eingehen, mehr, also ich möchte auch dazu sagen, es ist das 83. Neujahrskonzert und die 65. Direktübertragung vom ORF. Und das, wenn man sich diese Zahlen anschaut, das spricht schon für eine unglaubliche Partnerschaft, die wir hier haben und glücklich sind. Was kann ich sagen? Die Stücke, ein Stück möchte ich ganz besonders hervorheben, weil das von einem unserer Ex-Konzertmeister geschrieben ist, den Helmesberger. Die Familie Helmesberger hat angefangen, der Georg Helmesberger, der war 1800 bis 1873. Wenn Sie einmal mich besuchen kommen im Vorstandszimmer, oh, I'm sorry, I should speak English.
Noch einmal von vorn.
No. You have to I'm really sorry. I speak poor German, but my English is even worse, so have a good time. I was just explaining that this morning when I woke up and I came to the Musikverein, how incredibly lucky I felt to play in the most beautiful hall in the world, the Musikverein, with one of the greatest conductors, Franz Welser-Möst, and being broadcasted by the ORF, a long important partner of ours. I felt very happy. We are also very happy that this year we can play again in front of the full audience. Last year we couldn't do that. 2 years ago, many of you remember, that was very difficult. We had no audience, and it was a difficult situation for us. It was amazing, the reaction, because the next day I went food shopping and a lady came up to me and she said, "Thank you for doing this." So, well, these times are over. The New Year's concert generally for our orchestra has a message of peace, love, connecting the whole world into a big concert hall. That these are values that are very important to all our members. Yes, let me now, I don't have to introduce Franz. Franz has conducted our orchestra 25 years, and maybe I may mention how we surprised you on your birthday party, because Michael and Franz conducted the New Year's concert 2011 and 2013. Now we're 23, so that's 10 years. And our artistic relationship, also our friendship, has really become very intense, also because of the pandemic crisis. Franz was one of the 3 conductors who immediately came once we could play for 100 people and helped us out. Back then we had Maestro Barenboim, Muti, and Franz Welser-Möst. So that of course connects us. Then he conducted in Salzburg the Salome, the Elektra, and these were some of the greatest moments I could enjoy as a musician, and my colleagues felt the same. So it was just a very natural thing to invite Franz back to the New Year's concert, and we celebrated a birthday party together, and with our Geschäftsführer Michael Bladra, we said, we approached Franz and we said, we have a present for you, and said, could you please conduct the New Year's concert 2023? And he said he agreed, and I couldn't believe it actually on the 27th when I introduced Franz to the orchestra. And that it was, again, almost 2 years back. The time flies so fast. It's incredible. Okay, Franz, now I would like to ask you to talk a little bit about the program. I already mentioned it's many new pieces, and please elaborate on that.
Some of you have heard it already or read it, because, you know, what comes with the New Year's Day concert is this marathon of interviews you have to do. It was about 5 years ago that I bought everything which is in print by the Strauss family and Josef Lanner. And then the first lockdown came, and I had plenty of time on my hands. And I started sort of reading through different pieces and made myself a list of, that piece is great, that one is great, and so on. And then that summer, I got invited to do the next New Year's Day concert. And the first time Daniel came to my home to talk about the program for this year, I said to him, you know, I have good news and bad news. I've got actually that many pieces that we could do 10 programs, not just one. I think, and the last 2 days, I think, have proven that. So many of the musicians have come up to me and said, how did you find these pieces? One is more beautiful than the other. And I was asked by one of the journalists over the last couple of days, you know, maybe there's a reason why these pieces have not been performed before in a New Year's Day concert. And I said, you know, since when is it actually that Mahler symphonies are in the normal repertoire? Mid-60s, people remember Leonard Bernstein bringing Mahler really back into the repertoire. Così fan tutte was seen as a sort of not great Mozart opera till the mid-70s. How many Handel operas have been played in the last, like 50 years ago? So the discovery, and that's what I think is so exciting about this program, it's a journey of discovery. And again, the last 2 days have proven that the musicians, you know, first you don't know the music, you are busy with your own part and all this, but then the more we rehearsed it, the more I think the musicians have started to enjoy it and discover that there's one treasure after the other. And there's some, I would say, favorites of mine in this program, especially this one waltz by Josef Strauss, Perlen der Liebe, which Josef Strauss wrote as an engagement gift to his future wife. And a lot of these pieces, and especially that one, is more like a tone poem in waltz rhythm. And you could say that actually about all the 5 waltzes we are going to perform. So I feel like a child just before the Christkind comes. It's really to discover wonderful, beautiful music and do it for the first time, and you have never heard it before, only sort of in your head. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed the last 2 days of rehearsals, and so I think we're on a good track.
Thank you, Franz. I must say, when I visited your library and we started looking at the music, and you said, let's do a New Year's concert with only new pieces that haven't been performed. In America, you have this good terminology, I was out of my comfort zone. and then, but once I started looking at the music, and as you said, and it was clear to me that you had studied all the pieces, and that you knew why to move forward this idea of having a new program. And now I'm so happy, you know, today I went up to the conductor's stand, and after we performed the entire first half in one stretch, I said, I'm so happy we did this. And so thank you for taking us on this journey.
Yeah, it's a little risky, of course, but I love challenges anyway, and I also love to challenge an orchestra. So I think so far from the rehearsals, everyone is really on board.
I'm now would like thank you, Mr. Weißmann, that you came to our press conference. I want to point out point out what an incredible partner the ORF has been. Every detail when you go to the Musikverein now, the New Year's concert doesn't belong to the Vienna Philharmonic, belongs to all people, belongs also to the ORF, the camera team you have there. I know them now over the years, and it's just nice. It has a family feeling. So please share your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's also very important for us, the ORF, and poor Maestro, because I was a journalist before I became CEO, and I was asking him the same questions half an hour before because I was curious, but it's really nice to hear it from you. Thank you very much. We are really honored to broadcast the Vienna Philharmonic New Year's concert on the 1st of January 2023 for a great deal of Austrians and for millions of people in almost 100 countries around the world. This musical message of peace and hope, considered the flagship of Austrians' culture and identity, represents the traditional start for their personal New Year. Every year, the New Year's concert is a powerful musical message of peace that shines beyond all boundaries, so it will be this year. A concert full of firsts for a special year 2023. There are also premieres at this year's intermission film. For the first time, and I wonder why it took so long, a woman is directing, Barbara Weißenbeck. And for the first time, a conductor, Franz Welser-Möst, has also worked on the film. In addition, for the first time in its 500-year history, the Wiener Sängerknaben will perform with the Vienna Choral Girls. I'm also particularly looking forward for this year's ballet ensemble, a co-production of ORF and Vienna Philharmonic, this time from Luxembourg Castle and the Garden of Melk Abbey. Wonderful places in Austria which are made known for an audience of millions. As a communicator of art and culture, ORF will once again provide the greatest possible media coverage of this world-class event, bringing the concert to the living rooms of millions in state-of-the-art image and sound quality. Thanks for this quality and reach, the New Year's concert receives the largest possible media stage and reaches millions of people. This is cultural mediation in its most powerful form. I wish to thank all partners and participants who contribute to making the New Year's concert in ORF a top quality cultural event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weißmann. Now, I would like to also thank the EBU. I mean, the ORF is producing the incredibly beautiful pictures, and the EBU distributes it in the world. It has become a very important partner. I also would like to say thank you to the Wiener Stadtgärten, to Rainer Weißgram for making the hall incredibly beautiful. And I would also like to say thank you to the Staatsballett for being in a number, and the choreographer Ashley Page, and of course the Vienna Choir boys and the choral girls. I may share with you that I was myself a Vienna Choir boy a long time ago, and so it was also they performed with us 2016 with Maris Janssons, and so the time was right again to make the program more beautiful, more diverse in the pictures, and so we thought that would be great to have them. And when I then heard that they also have a choir, the girls, the Vienna Choir boys, then I specifically asked them if they could also have girls participate in the New Year's concert, and they called back and said yes, they will sing. So I think we have 30 boys and 10 girls. Last night I had an interview for CCTV, and there were two there were two, a boy and a girl there, and they were very cute and made me feel very old sitting next to two really young artists. So thank you to Gerald Wirth. This is what I wanted to say. Yes, I think, yeah, the Vienna Choir Boys, this is important. 525th year is their founding time, so that's also, it connects well to celebrate this year together with us. And I think now we are ready for 4 or 5 questions if you would like to ask us anything.
Hello, good day. Thank you very much for this press event. My name is Antonio Sanchez with EFE, the Spanish news agency. You mentioned this premiere, this new thing with the Vienna choir girl performing for the first time. The ORF itself called this a small gender revolution in an article in the website. So my question is, after 83 years, and I think something like 19 different conductors, all men, is there any chance that we will see a woman conducting the New Year's concert anytime soon? Do you have any names already on mind? Is there any chance to see that anytime soon?
Okay. If you look who conducts the New Year's concerts at the moment, these are all people who conduct, or maestros, who conduct our abonnement concerts. And when we have an artistic relationship plus minus 10 years, we usually invite somebody to a New Year's concert. Of course, we have to be very careful. Now we have a generation of conductors who are 80 plus, and so we need to look for young conductors, and we need to look also for lady conductors. Yes, we will have a lady conductor when time comes. There's one aspect that I would like to mention here. To just try out somebody, or somebody putting him into this position to be compared to the greatest conductors. Immediately when you walk out, you're compared to Herbert von Karajan, you're compared to Kleiber, you're compared to Marcel, you need somebody who is a seasoned artist and also has a lot of experience with our orchestra. And so I know we will have a lady conductor.
Can I say something to that? I think what you don't understand, and please, you have to understand, the first time I conducted the New Year's Day concert, I talked to Maris Janssons, I talked to Zubin Mehta, I talked to Nicolas Arnoncourt, and we are all in agreement that the New Year's Day concert, and I know most people don't believe us, but it's the most difficult thing you can do as a conductor. And it simply has to do with so many pieces, with so many sections. And I was explaining to Mr. Weißmann before, it's like in comedy. It's all a question about timing. And can I ask you for one thing in the media? I know the media is about news, and you always need news. But conducting is not about the newest thing on the block. Conducting has a lot to do with experience. And if you always ask for the newest, youngest hotshot, and if you are honest and go back in the last, at least in my lifetime, I've experienced so many times that people were pushed into something and got ruined. And this New Year's Day concert, there's nothing else like what Daniel said. The exposure and the madness which comes with it is dangerous. And if you don't have the experience, and again, conducting is a lot about experience. You have got, let's say, 100 people in front of you, and you have to guide them, you have to lead them. Imagine there are musicians in the orchestra who have played still with Herbert von Karajan, Bernstein, you name it, Harnoncourt. And then comes a young conductor. Do you really think that these seasoned musicians actually, with all the experience they've had, as a young conductor, you can tell them what to do and how to do it. I mean, please, young conductors need time. They need time to develop, and I've seen it, and if you go back in the last 20, 30 years, so many names have come up as the youngest, hottest talent, and then because of the pressure and all the media attention and whatnot, they got ruined, simply. So it's not about, when the first time, and as Daniel said, it will come. But to develop a relationship with such an extraordinary orchestra with the Vienna Philharmonic does not happen overnight. And when you conduct this concert with this very specific music, it's a musical dialect which the Vienna Philharmonic speaks like no other orchestra in the world. So if you stand in front of them and you want to tell them what to do, it needs an enormous amount of experience and preparation. And in general, again, please give the young conductors time. I've experienced it myself. I became music director of the London Philharmonic at the age of 30. I was not ready for the job. And I've seen it over and over again. And I feel really sad when big talents get ruined that way.
Sorry, just a follow-up question. Maybe I didn't understand right. That's what I want to ask again. I didn't mention a young conductor. I was talking about the female conductor. Do you mean that there is no woman in the music world experienced enough to resist the pressure of the New Year's concert?
No, you got your answer from Daniel Froschauer. There needs to be a relationship developed between this orchestra, this unique orchestra, and a conductor, so that you actually have an understanding of each other before you go into this really, really difficult concert. It's not a political question, it's an artistic question.
Okay.
I have one question now from Norwegian Broadcasting. One question regarding Josef Strauss, because you have chosen so many pieces of him. Can you describe the difference in style from Josef and Johann?
Johann Strauss said himself, I'm the more prominent, but he's the more gifted, about Josef Strauss. Yes. He said that several times. And, when we talk about this music, it's not kind of, easy entertainment. This music is so much about the Viennese mentality. And the Viennese mentality, it goes back, Austrians know that, the song from the Liebe Augustin, facing death, being drunk. The Viennese mentality goes from cheerful, happy, to melancholic, sad, and all that is, especially for me, Josef Strauss, the quality is really the amount of sensitivity in his music. When you listen to Perlen der Liebe, as I said, he wrote that as an engagement gift for his future wife. And it's basically a tone poem, a declaration of love to his wife. It's written in waltz rhythm, yes, but at the same time, it says so much about that personal relationship. So, and Johann Strauss, by the way, said, when you play my music and people dance, you're not making that many rubatos and so on. But when you perform it as a concert piece, and by the way, again, Perle in der Liebe is a Konzertwalzer, which was not written for dancing. Johann Strauss said, if you do it in concert, take it as a concert piece. The same counts for the quadrille we are playing, and so on. But Joseph Strauss, for me, has this enormous sensitive Viennese side, which includes a lot of melancholy.
There's another aspect to him, I feel, because it's almost as he has felt that he will have a short lifespan, and that somehow you feel that in every one of his pieces that he tried to achieve the maximum. It's kind of like Schubert a little bit. If you look at Schubert's music, you feel that these people knew somehow that they weren't going to live that long. So, but I'm happy we have all. We have the father, of course. We have Johann Strauss. We have the brother, Eduard, who wrote great music, and also Joseph. So we also have Zierer, Helmesberger, and so it's a nice program, I think.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Kyo Hesorita from NHK Japanese Media. So actually, I'm a pianist. So that's why, as a artist, I'd like to ask you, both of you. So what do you feel for performing at the New Year concert? I mean, some happiness or a little bit nervous or like this?
For me, I only can speak for myself, but this kind of music has such a wide range of emotions. And you have to try really to, when, let's say, you're performing Mahler 6, tragic, all that, you're on one track of expressions. In something like this program, as I said before, you have happiness. It's sort of sometimes over the top happy. On the other side, it's like this morning we played Perle in der Liebe. I got really sad during that because it's such touching music. So I mean that's our job as an interpreter, as an artist, actually to try to convey the emotions, the expressions of what a composer wrote to the audience. To come back to your question, I mean, as I said in the beginning, I'm extremely happy to perform this music again with the Vienna Philharmonic. At the same time, really the whole program is sort of an emotional roller coaster.
Maybe as a performer, I may add that it is challenging. And maybe back when I talked about the comfort zone, when you make a program and when we program something and we know we do Kaiserwalzer or something, you immediately relax. And this is in this program more difficult, but thank God we geared our rehearsals towards this aspect, that it's all new music. And there are two pieces I have to be really careful, I must say, is the quadrille. I then mark in the music like a car sign, with an exclamation mark, just to be careful, because you don't have time to think. You just have to feel where the eyes have to go. And this is tricky. Also, the stuff is tricky to play, and Maestro really gave us a challenge, which we are taking. And the great thing, I must say, or the thing that astonishes me with my orchestra is that the bigger the challenge, the better everything works. It's like a great soccer team, I have to say. And that's a great feeling to be part of an orchestra like that. So I think that was it. Thank you for your interest, and I think we take a photo now or something. So I don't know. A photo. So thank you very much.